Welcome everyone to part 2 of the subject Communication Style in Korea. Today we will continue to talk about non-direct speaking. If you remember, in part 1 we were discussing that in Korea the main type of communication is indirect speaking. And in today's lesson I want to talk about the gap that might happen between a non-direct, indirect type of communication, and maybe you're coming from a place of direct communication. And those different two types of communication, direct communication versus non-direct communication, can create a gap. And the first thing that it can create is a feeling of awkwardness because we're not sure how to use it, what to do. We are not sure about the meaning. So the situation can be very awkward. Another point of differentiation can be that in a non-direct communication, a lot of the times we are not speaking directly to the point, and that can create a mismatch of communication, not understanding the point or what we are talking about. Another gap that is possible, and that is mainly for people who are coming from more direct type of communication, and that is the feeling of time wasting, or we're wasting time because we're not talking to the point. We're not advancing in the conversation, and a lot of the times we just feel that we're talking for 10 minutes, maybe in the good case, 30 minutes, 1 hour, and we're not really getting anywhere. And that can feel as time wasting. So another big one is misunderstandings. And that happens a lot between people who are coming more from direct type of communication and people who are coming from an indirect type of communication. There's a lot of misunderstandings between each other, and misunderstanding can come in form of I really didn't understand what's going on here, or misunderstanding can come in form of every side really took something else from the conversation and every side really understands something else from the conversation. And just a simple example of that is, let's say I asked my colleague, can you please make the report by today? And he told me, I'll try. And to me, I understand that he will do it. And to him, he's not even going to do it. And at the end of the day, all of those will also cause a huge frustration for both sides. All the above, it's awkward. We're not talking to the point. We're wasting time. There's a lot of misunderstandings, and it causes a lot of frustration. So you're probably wondering, what can we do about it? How can we make it a little bit better? So the first thing would be understanding that there is a gap and understanding that there are different types of communications. It's not good or bad. It's not right versus wrong. And it's just different. So a couple of tips from me to try to smoothen the communication and what we can do to make it a little bit better. So the first thing would be, just remember the other side considers you. They think about you. They don't want to hurt your feeling. Although you don't think that it will hurt your feeling to receive a no, they believe it will. So thinking from their perspective, they are considering you. Another positive point from speaking in indirect way is that you can get more information and you can really understand more details and the bigger picture. And you can use this information also to get to know the people around you better, which leads us to establishing stronger relationship. When we know that both sides consider each other feelings, it helps us to establish stronger, closer relationship and relationships that based on. So those are points that we can consider when understanding non-direct speaking. And for the actual tip, what I will try to do when I'm speaking to Koreans, I will try to use mellow words, not very definitive words, not very strong and harsh words. So another thing that I do is I try to focus on the meaning of the content and not specifically the actual words that they choose. And I'm doing so by asking questions. So with each question, I'm going deeper into the meaning. And at the end of the day, I understand what it is that they are trying to say. So those are my tips to you for today. And this is the end of part 2. We just covered the non-direct speaking in Korea. And I will see you in part 3.